gentlemen, boys and girls, toasters to toaster ovens, welcome to the final episode of Season 3 of the 1AT944. Let's see what we have left to do, and we're going to get this running by the end of this episode. Stay tuned.
This might be the one time I'm speechless.
All right, so what we have left is very little here, my friends. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the calipers back together. They have been loosened and freed up and PB'd up, so we're going to slam those back in so that I have brakes so that I can finish the brake system. That also includes me going inside with that assembly right there and making it work in there. I'll show you more details. I'll show you more details on that shortly. We have the return spring for the throttle. That's easy. We've got this for the wipers I have to put up in the dashboard. And then we have a whole bunch of bleeding to do. So, without further ado, let me go put the rear brakes together, and I'll be right back. All right, folks. So, we have to come up over here, and you can see right there, that has to connect to this. And how we are going to do that is with this bad Larry right here. So with this bad Larry, it's going to let me connect it and then have it plunge in. So I have to get some depths and some whatnots here and measure things apparently, and see what we need to do to get this installed. Underneath yonder, we now have right there a plunger. So it plunges. I'm so excited. It has a beautiful stroke. It's fantastic. It feels great. So I'm very excited to power bleed the brakes because we have the calipers on, as you saw, on both sides. So I'm very, very much excited here. I was in the process of trying to set a spring up for that throttle pedal, but it still is not done right. So I need to figure out the whole spring return on that bad Larry. But I will be figuring that out here very shortly. So I'll check back with you on that. So what we are going to do is the next time that you see me in here, it will be with a power bleeder for the clutch and for the brakes, and it's going to be fantastic. And then I am going to pour oil in it, and I'm also going to be doing the cooling system. So I'll be bringing that to a vacuum and vacuum filling it and making sure that the valve for the heater core is open, because I don't know what's open and what's closed. So, do me a favor, mid-video, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you very much, and we'll be right back. All right, so what we're going to do next is we are going to quickly put on the nose panel and the bumper and plug the lights and such in, so that's one less thing we have to do. We are not going to put the hood on. That is going to stay off, so the fact of I want to make sure that all the wiring is good and have easy access to this without a hood hitting me in the head or vice versa. So, we're going to do that real quick. Be right back. Alrighty, so we have a nose. Looks beautiful. So, we have a battery. Thanks, Buckaroo. So, this is the first time, so I'd like to do two things. One, find a fire extinguisher. Okay, well, we'll skip one. We'll go right to two. Oh, please don't fucking catch fire.
There's one in the S10 that's parked outside the door.
Ah, perfect, perfect. So, this will kind of, I'll have to loosen that a little bit, but at least it's there. Okay, first things first, do you smell any fire?
I see no smoke.
You see no smoke. No fire from here. Holy shit, I have a radio that's on. Okay, well, this is... Did anything turn on? Well, that should definitely be my parking lot. So something's definitely not completely connected. This is gonna suck. Why doesn't any of this have power? Is there 12 volts coming to this? Let's find out. We're gonna way, because this is just an easy way to do it. I'll go to the fucking ground. Why do I have no 12 volts there? Check this out. So obviously I put the key in, because I thought the directionals worked without the key, but it's still not getting power there. But check this out. I turned the key on. That is very cool. That is very cool. I'm very excited that I have water temp, oil pressure, and trans temp. But still no directional and no lights. So there is clearly a 12 volt source missing somewhere. I couldn't even tell you if I have ECU power. I don't have oil in it, so I'm not going to crank it at all. So I have to figure that out. I presume it's literally a wire I forgot to put 12 volts to. So now I have to, oh God. This is not going to be fun. This is not going to be fun. All right, so remember when I said I was going to bleed the brakes? Instead, I'm going to figure this out, and then I'll let you know when I stop bleeding the brakes. All right, so I've found some things out. So this wire right here, the spade connector, is for the coils. That should have key power, which it doesn't, because it was plugged into the fuel pump wire to the back. This was cut, so clearly this and this went together, because I need a relay to turn on my fuel pump, and then this thing goes to a green with a yellow stripe wire, and this is another positive switched source here from a relay. I need to figure out what this is. I know what this is. This is obviously a switch source. I need to figure out what this sweet green with a white wire is. I can't remember. This I remembered was positive because it's red and it was positive. I remember that. That was very easy. But I mean, I like I said, I know this gets 12 volts. So it's fuel pump needs to go to one of these to a switch source, which is easy. And then I need to figure out what that is. I still don't know why my lights aren't working. So I'm getting power up here, but for whatever reason, it's not going out. I don't know why. So that slightly confuses me, and that has to be figured out. But the window works, as we saw. The radio works. The directionals do not. The headlights do not. But when I put the key on, the gauges work. So, right. So, a little bit of time. The next day, I figured out the wiring issue. Ultimately, it was just my parking lights and one plug for the a switched source to not the injectors, the coil packs. That's the thing I had hooked up wrong. And my fuel pump I had hooked up wrong because it was plugged in to the coil packs. So, very weird. I screwed up. But anyway, I put another relay in place. I'm in the process of finishing that real quick. I figured out all the parking lights and stuff. The issue was that I had tapped on and added a wire to the switch so that my gauges would dim when I put the parking lights on. Well, unfortunately, that did not solder correctly and it broke apart. So there was my issue there. Along with, over here, I have the sequential lights in the front. For some reason, the wiring with the connector that was made, I have no idea. It must have just broke and just started to melt. But I have checked, and the wire is, the light, in fact, is still good. So I'm going to quickly throw a different connector on it, my style, cut the other side off, put my style connector on it, and then I will move back to the inside to finish up. So I am going to move back to the inside, wrap this all back up, resolder that together. This and this is for my fog lights, so I have to go ahead and figure out the switch again for that, so that could work. And then this is for the gauges, so I have to make sure that's in there, soldered correctly here, soldered. And then right there, these are the two relay outputs. One's to the fuel pump, and one's going to be to something right here for the ECU, for the coil packs. So, figured it out. So now I can go back onto what I was doing. I'm going to wrap this up, I'm going to check back in with you, and we're going to start filling this thing up with fluids. Stay tuned. All right, so I've gone ahead. I've already put it back together for my light here. I did have to replace the plug right there, and then I did have to solder This is actually very nice. I actually really, really like this. I was able to re-solder it to the actual light itself. So now you have marker lights. Oh, give me a directional. Oh, give me another one. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to, right now, I found the 2 wires to make the fog lights work that I thought were the right wires, but I wanted to make sure. So I'm going to go ahead and put those to the switch and clean that up, which is in the inside. But we have all the lights now working. Obviously, headlights need to be put in, but I have checked, and I do have 12 volts to them when they turn on and off with the headlight switch. All right, ladies and germs. So we have all the wiring cleaned up and tucked up. The ECU needs to be reattached there a little bit. But at this point, here you go, how's that? So at this point, we, as you can see, everything underneath here has been done. All the wiring, I got to tuck up a few more things and zip tie a couple things here just out of the way. But that is that. The only thing left inside I have to do is the throttle pedal return spring. There's one on the ground right there on the floor, and then I got to figure out a spot to make it return. Because that is just not strong enough. I tried to put one up there to make the return better, but it didn't. I don't like that. I need it down here. So, last thing interior wise, those 2 pieces right there. Put the steering wheel on, put that back all the way on, and put this glove box back on. Let's do that real quick. Anyway, so we have one harness in for the 2 matching ones I actually have, because we're going to get rid of the ones I paid for some reason and go that route. We have a steering wheel in. We have a glove box in. We have an interior complete, including, well, that carpet needs to go up, but the roll cage has been tightened and bolted down. We've got headlights in. We've got running lights working. We've got fog lights. We've got directionals. We've got side markers. We've got all the tail lights, brake lights. Definitely not reverse lights, but that's besides the point. I need to charge the battery to be ready to fire it. I was going to use an air compressor my friend let me borrow, but the fitting on it is absolutely massive. So I need to now go to the Home Depot and get an adapter. So I will be doing that, but we're going to put fluids in it. So we've got a few things we can mark off. At this point, we have finished the brake pedal. We're going to bleed the above. We've got the bumper and the nose in. The headlights are in and working. We have a fuel leak. Let's look for... hold on. Install interior completed. So let's go ahead and put oil in it. See what happens. All right, kids. Let's see if we can build oil pressure. And if it trickles out anywhere. So we got oil temp, oil pressure. Oh, in gear does not help. Oh, I think the battery is far too dead. All right, we got my Gulu pack there. Let's get some Rip'ems. The booster pack only works for so long, and then it turns itself off. So, I couldn't tell you if there was oil pressure because it's not mechanical, it's electrical. And when you turn the key to a different position, yeah, so anyway, Godspeed on that until this thing actually runs. I don't know, let's see if there's any leaks. It doesn't look like there's any leaks coming from those back hoses or anything of that. So, that's good. That's a good thing. I know I'm going to have to add more oil. Let's see if it's even on the stick. It's on the stick and it's pretty. Okay, cool. I need to go get the hose pieces so I can pressure bleed the brakes and also vacuum suck the cooling system. So, I'll be back. Hey, you with the face. You may or may not have a name. Do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. You know, come on. This is hysterical. This is sticky. So, hit that button. Thank you very much. All right, so I took the sensor out, and it gushed out of there finally, and then I took the filter off here at the filter location, and it gushed out of there finally. So obviously I lost some oil, but I now know the system is priming. I'm much happier with that than a couple minutes ago. So that's good. I need to charge the battery tonight, and I will come back in the morning with the proper fittings to make that hose connect to this thing to do bleedy things to all the fluidities except for oil. While I am deciding next steps, let's do this. Test for leaks, fuel, done. Oil, done. Boom, test for leaks, done. That's done because there is no rear parking brake. Tried to bleed things. Almost finished the throttle pedal. Tightened the suspension, I did do. Grounds, install interiors done. Check the coilovers, those are Gucci. Backyard alignment, kind of already done it, so that's pretty close. So we'll call that a day. This thing is starting to leak everywhere, so that's not cool. So we'll just put that away. So I'm going to wipe this list off. This is the last time you're going to see this list. I'm going to wipe it off, and I'm going to come up with a new list, and that will be what I am doing next. Be right back. All right, kids, so we're working on the brakes. Quick little Baja update here. I'm an idiot. So what you really need to do is, that is actually an M10 1.0 bubble flare, and what I did was a 3/8 24 inverted flare. So, fun fact, you cannot put that into the hole. It doesn't, that's square, peg, round hole, idiot. We're fixing it. I'll touch base in a minute once we bleed. Yeah. All right, so we are back. I figured out the fuel issue. Fuel issue is that I put a fuel pump in it, I put a fuel filter in it, and then I realized that the feed was on the return was on the feed. Don't be Dan. Make sure you have the right hoses in the right spot. So, the car does now run. We are right now, obviously the hood is on. I have to fill it with coolant, and I have to put the tires on, and I need to make sure that the clutch is bled and top off the brake fluid right here. So, all right, kids, well, we've done a lot. I've gone ahead and basically redone every brake line because I didn't redo them. Someone else redid them because I cannot do a brake line to save my life. We have double-checked all of the oil fittings, everything there. For the most part, it seems all right. Right now, this is very much the end of the episode where I say we're getting it show ready. There is a trailer behind that camera, and it's going on it so that we could go to Wolfsgart in 3 days. So, what else? Clutch is bled, that works. Right now, we are going to fill the clearly leaky somewhere radiator, but I can't find it because I can't find the hiss with the vacuum. And then we are going to take it off of the jacks, the quick jacks, and move it out, and we're going to put it on that trailer, and next time you will see me, it will be at Wolfsgart. All right, everybody. So, we've got her on the trailer. I'm so excited. Wolfsgart is just a few days away. It is Sunday, the 31st. Oh, that SQ5 though. And she's clean. She runs. She drives. and it works. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely excited to get back from Wolfsgard and finish going through it and actually have a proper shakedown. Switchback will be the first time I am driving this car since doing the refresh on the engine bay. Let's take a look at that one more time here. Let's take a look at that engine bay. I will still be buffing this at the show. Oh, but let's look at that with the gold. The gold stuff, it's a little heavy for the shocks here, so I think I'm going to have to get another set. But look at that. Very excited. Very much excited. Need to top off the coolant after I let it run for a bit, but I do have 80 pounds of oil pressure at idle. The return spring is working all right. I definitely need to work on that a little bit in the future, but this is great for the glow farts. So until next time, this is what we do, Wolfsgard, right here. This is so many years in the making, and I am so happy. And I'll be happier when I get to beat the bag out of it, but I'm happy that she's out of the garage finally. So thank you for checking out the new half-ass garage. The version 6 of the 944, because every year before Wolfsgard we do something. Last year was the paint on the outside, this year was the engine. And thank you for coming on the next adventure. Another one.